You ever wonder what would happen if Indiana Jones went up against an army of darkness? Look no further than Konami's Dark Adventure, released in 1987. When not Indiana Jones discovers a portal between the human world and the demon world, he and his two lackeys, Labrina and Zorlok, are thrown into a battle to find out where they are, and quite possibly save the human race from the devil himself. Dark Adventure is an overhead action-adventure game with large levels and hordes of enemies swarming you, largely inspired by Atari's 1985 hit, Gauntlet. This game's ambition is far grander than Gauntlet's, though. Rather than starting at point A and going to point B, you need to navigate an open world. That's right, state-of-the-art 1987 arcade graphics meet the size and scale of an epic computer RPG. This is Arcade Legend of Zelda. You won't succeed without bringing a piece of paper with you to draw a map of your surroundings, determining which doors lead where, and noting the locations of valuable power-ups like health-restoring soda cans and laser guns. All while fending off vicious dragons, minotaurs, and gargoyles with the aid of two of your friends. One player getting the privilege of controlling one of the earliest female explorers in video game history. Filling the fantasy of discovering an uncharted world's secrets with lush, gorgeous environments that embarrass the meager 8-bit offerings available at home. Making it one of the most unique arcade experiences in the world next to NMK's Legend of Makai. 16-bit home machines were still being researched and developed, and top-of-the-line home computers like the Amiga 4000 were prohibitively expensive for the average customer. Konami saw a niche for bigger budget adventure games and filled it the best they could, making Dark Adventure and Legend of Makai two of the most fascinating experiments in video game history. The late 80s was the only time these games could have been viable. 2 years later, and Phantasy Star 2 would have deemed it too late. I want to adore this game for being a one-of-a-kind beast, but the gameplay is kinda soggy pants. It all stems from simple game polish. You get the basics wrong, and you're going to have an inherently flawed experience. The hitboxes are as shoddy as they can possibly be. Get a load of this crap! You and the enemies act like sluggish actors that don't react to pain at all. They also have trouble hitting you most of the time. That is, if you can even see yourself getting hit by anything at all. What happened? Did I soil my pants and die of embarrassment? Consistent sloppiness like that is a potential turnoff for players that are sticklers for quality. It might make the difference between a forgotten game and one memorialized for all time. I should emphasize these aren't remotely the most unfair hitboxes I've seen in a video game. We aren't anywhere near Mooncrusted levels of frustration, since you're still capable of killing or running away from almost anything dangerous. If you weren't turned away by the janky hitboxes, and let's be honest here, a lot of people will put up with them if the game's cool enough, the game seals its own coffin with its ridiculous health drain. On machine recommended settings, you lose all of your health within 1 minute. Look, I get it. No arcade operator wants players to hog the machine for too long. It can't be easy adapting the adventure genre to the arcade model, but forced game overs are not the way. It undermines all the thought put into making damage avoidable throughout the game. Konami could have made the game brutal after the first screen instead. Have everything kill you in one hit. At the very least, that would prevent the game from being entirely pay to win. You might not see the issue if you got unlimited credits through an emulator. So, let's push money out of the way. If you knew you were going to die regardless of whether or not you stayed out of this lava, would you even bother trying to time your jumps correctly? Some people would say no. There's your problem. Where's the satisfaction in a game that spits in your face no matter how hard you try to stay alive? If this dumb degenerating health weren't here, I'd be rewarded for playing well with longer game time and a sense of satisfaction you can't get from movies and TV. It's a crying shame copying Gauntlet's worst design decision led to Dark Adventure's elaborate constructs going to waste. Konami knows good level design. They actually bothered to plan a series of passageways when they had no reason to. I want to be gawking at the scenic bridges above the rapids, not how eager the game is to show you the game over screen. I really don't want to, but I can't give Dark Adventure any more than a C. Konami wasn't done with Dark Adventure after its debut. A few months later, a revised edition called Devil World was released worldwide, not just the USA. While the maps are the same, the updates and gameplay changes are so significant that Devil World warrants a separate review. Starting with all that heat you brought to the hood, Dr. Jones is installing a new state-of-the-art ventilation system in all these devils. Konami was either unsatisfied with their hitboxes, or they just thought futuristic weaponry would be way cooler. Either way, these bullets are much more consistent at hitting targets than their close-range counterparts, automatically making Devil World a much better game. The only thing better than a gun is having tons of guns. In an effort to reduce how much luck played a part in your survival, the Gradius power-up menu makes an appearance, offering you everything in Dark Adventure and 3 brand new guns with different attributes, including a god-darn bazooka, a good-intentioned attempt to add strategy to the game. The shotgun and laser combo are excellent for cooperative play, since the laser compensates for the shotgun's firing rate, while the shotgun prevents the team from being surrounded so easily. Although its implementation isn't perfect, Konami games usually don't have worthless power-ups like the flamethrower. It leaves you a sitting duck, since its rate of fire is horrible. The starting gun's better than this crap. Then again, what do you expect when the gameplay mechanics get corrected in such a short span of time? There couldn't have been much room for polish. Still, anything beats flailing Labrina's useless sword around in Dark Adventure. People are going to be split on the second enormous change, though. Devil World abandons the labyrinth of exits in favor of linear, straightforward progression. There's only one exit per level, and you'll go through them in a fixed order like a standard arcade game. Personally, I like the open-ended map of Dark Adventure since it set it apart from most other games. But I can't speak for everyone. I'm one of those weirdos that has the patience to draw maps of video game worlds to feel like an accomplished explorer. Both design approaches are good for numerous reasons. So, go ahead and enjoy the one that suits your needs most. Finally, the cherry on top of the sundae. Devil World's health drain and enemy damage have been rebalanced to make it possible to finish without continuing on normal difficulty. Dark Adventure's level design was already fairer than Gauntlet's, giving you many opportunities to avoid taking hits, but by slowing your decay just a bit, we ended with a game that's far more satisfying to play by rewarding skillful maneuvers. You won because of your skill, not because you were blatantly forced to put a second quarter into the machine. And that's way more apparent when a game is 1CCable. These tremendous improvements bring Devil World up an entire letter grade. Now that the world and its challenging obstacles can be fully appreciated without getting a game over every 3 minutes, I'm more than glad to give Devil World a B-.